Okay, lesson 13? Yeah, lesson 13. This is Young Owl Comprehension. I'm going to be reading a small story from this little card. I actually have all these little cards that I got from a teaching conference type thing that they had in Sacramento, or San Bernardino, I'm sorry. It's actually meant for first grade, but it's fine. It's really not grade specific. It's just a bunch of little stories broken down, contemporary, realistic, mystery, suspense, fantasy, things like that. So this can be used kind of as assessment with comprehension. I think of this specifically because I've noticed some of my students, in terms of comprehension, they may understand the overarching thing of what happened in the story, but they're missing some of the more subtle details. So this is a great way to kind of go over, maybe with one-on-one, a student that's having trouble, or as a class, depending on how many issues we're having, and that way we can look at it. So I'll read the story real quick. Once there lived a young owl. All around him, the older owls could hoot. Hoo, 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 they cried from the trees. Can you all hoo? Do you know what an owl hoo sounds like? And all the kids would hoo. But the young owl could not hoot yet. He was not old enough. He tried and he tried to hoot. He took a deep breath through his beak, and he blew out air, but he didn't make a sound. The other owls laughed at him. I will never be able to hoot, the owl said sadly. His mother said, wait and see, little owl. Very soon you will have your grown-up voice. Then you will hoot. One evening, months later, the young owl awoke in his tree. He opened his eyes to see a crow flying straight towards him. Who are you? He hooted. The crow flew away, and the owl flew after him, hooting happily all the while. His mother had been right. All right, so again, one-on-one maybe with the kid at this point. All right, so first of all, what do you think? Was this a tell about the world story, or was this a, was this a tell about the world book, or was this a story book? Those are kind of our words for fiction, nonfiction, things like that. How-to books, different genres. Yeah, so how does the owl feel about his hooting? And see if they understand, oh, he doesn't feel good, or now he feels happy that he can hoot. How do the other animals make him feel? Hopefully they understand, oh, they make him feel bad because they laugh at him. But if they say, oh, they make him happy because they're his friends, and then we can say, oh, can you show me where that is? And maybe we can go over that, look at any specific point that they may be missing. For example, he blew out air, but he didn't make a sound. The other owls laughed at him. I will never be able to hoot, the owl said sadly. And then we can talk about, oh, he's feeling sad. How do you know? How would you feel if your friends were laughing at you because you couldn't do something? We can use examples like that going through the story to find any specific piece that they may have issues in terms of comprehension. And then, after going over this, we can see, oh, okay, and now we know maybe the issues that student was having, maybe even pull in other students and see, are there any correlating issues where maybe multiple students had kind of the same problems, where there were confusion about the same part of the story. And then we can go over the story as a class and basically go over those same things. Like, you know, class, I was talking to some of you, and there were some interesting things in the story that I wanted to talk to you about. And once again, I could read the story to the class and ask those same things. Maybe even like, does the owl learn to hoot? And then yes, and as a group they'd be able to hear maybe some reasoning on their level as well. Oh, was the mother right about the owl hooting? Oh, she was, about the young owl hooting? How do you know? And then again, bringing it back to the story, looking at the points that the kids make themselves from their own words. Sometimes it's easier for them to understand a colleague speak as opposed to a teacher. Unfortunately, sometimes that's the way. And it looks like we're close on time. So perfect. But that would be the young owl lesson. Again, I like the fact that that can really be used as somewhat of an assessment, not just a lesson in comprehension, that we can hopefully then take what we learn from that and then use in future lessons in terms of their reading and writing. Thank you.